Hello students, welcome you all in second year of Civil Engineering Department. This is Professor K. Gangude. We are going to learn building construction, the new subject of second year. Why this subject is introduced in our syllabus? To implement safe building construction practices. Content of the building construction. First unit name overview of building component, construction of substructure, construction of superstructure, building communication and ventilation, building finishes, and building maintenance. These are the 6 units included in building construction. Okay, these are the course outcomes of building construction subject. Identify components of building structure. Purpose suitable type of foundation for building structure. Select suitable type of masonry for building structures. Propose relevant means of communication for different types of buildings. Select the relevant material for finishing works and execute safe practices in building construction activities. So these are the course outcomes that you have to that will be developed after learning this subject. Now we will discuss about the unit 1 overview of building components. In this unit 1 we will going to study classification of building, that is part 1 of this unit. NBC 2005. NBC stand for National Building Code 2005, part 3, group A to I. Second part of this unit is the type of construction. There are mostly 3 types of construction. First is load bearing type, another is frame structure construction, and last one is composite structure. And last part of the unit is actual building components, about the building components and their functions. Okay, what is substructure, what is superstructure, that are we going to learn in this unit 1. So for specifically unit 1, these are the unit outcomes. First outcome is classify the given building on the basis of the given given occupancy and type of construction. Categorize the component parts of the given type of building. Next is explain the silent characteristics for the given building structure. And last, compare the given parameters of given load bearing and frame structure. These are the reference books, we can say, or suggested learning resources that you can use for the reference study. Okay. First one is the building construction by S.C. Rangawala, and another one is building construction by B.C. Punimia, then and A.K. Jain. Then another book is also good, S. Chand, building construction S.K. Sharma and S. Chand, and building construction by Dr. Janardhan Jha. It's of Khanna Publications. And building construction by S.S. Bhavikarti. It's of Vikas publication also. All these are the books which are very good for reference purpose. You can use that. So if so let's move forward for the our first topic of the first unit. Okay. First of all, I want to say that this subject will be of 100 marks, 70 marks of theory paper and 30 marks of internal assessment. Okay, like so in this we have to perform practicals also. Then for that we required sketchbook to draw particular sketches of the structure or the components of building. Then about the first unit, this unit it will be asked in exam for 8 marks. Okay, and teaching time allotted for this unit is 6 hours. So let's start. First is classification of building. Okay, first part of unit 1 is classification of building. So as per National Building Code 2005, part 3, group A to I. So what are these groups? Okay, so group A is residential, group B is educational structure, group C is institutional structure, group D is assembly structure, group E is business structures, group F is mercantile structure, group G industrial structures, group H storage structures, and group I hazardous structures. So these are the groups A to I which is classified by as per National Building Code. So this is the classification actual. Now classification of building according to the sorry in thoroughly that groups we here we discussing residential, that is group A. So residential building are those buildings in which sleeping accommodation is provided. For example, flat, row houses, bungalow, hotels, lodging and dormitories. Another one is educational, that is group B. So those buildings used for school, college or any training purpose that involve assembly during day are called educational buildings, okay, or educational structures. So another one is institutional building, a building or a part building that is used for medical purpose or other treatment. They ordinarily provide sleeping or accommodation also. So for example, hotel, hospitals, sanitarium, custodial institution, paddle and mental institution. So these are the buildings, these are the types of buildings which is comes under institutional buildings. Next one is assembly building. So a building where group of not less than 50 people gather for any purposes. For example, cinema hall, theaters, museums, gymnasiums, restaurant, hall, or we can say holy temples, church, etc. Okay, so these buildings are called assembly, or those buildings are we can say assembly buildings. Business type of building is used as a shop, store, market for display and sale of merchandise, either wholesale or retail. Next type is mercantile buildings. Uh, Includes shops, stores, market and documental store. Next type is industrial, a building in which products or material of all kinds are fabricated, assembled, manufactured or processed. Example, power plant, laboratories, etc. Okay, so these are comes under industrial buildings. Next is storage. Storage building. These are buildings used for storage of goods, vehicles or animals. And the last, that is group I, hazardous building. These buildings used for storage, handling, manufacturing or processing of highly combustible or explosive materials or product which are liable to burn with extreme rapidity or produce poisonous fume or explosions. For example, we can say that the industry of firecrackers or any chemical industry which contain large boilers or hazardous chemical. So these are the comes under hazardous building. Okay, these here is so this is the classification of building. So another is as per type of construction, means the method of construction also, as per the method of construction we also classify the structure. So by there are three methods. First is load bearing structure, second is frame structure and another is composite structure. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to learn load bearing structure. Load bearing structure is you can see in this image, these horizontal members. Okay, these are called beams. Okay, and similarly, these are made up of concrete. If you can see this, so these are the members, horizontal member of concrete, or we can say it is called as beam, or sorry, it is directly a slab. Okay, it means the load of the whole structure, it comes directly on wall. Okay, internal wall and external wall. So so we can say that load is transferred to foundation via load bearing internal and external walls. Example, masonry houses, pyramids in Egypt, or they are generally characterized by having a small window to wall ratio, that is more structural wall area than window opening. And internal walls, due to large stress within brick or stone, wall height of load bearing structure is limited, and we can say that the thickness of wall is also greater, okay, as compared to frame structure. We will discuss it further. Then you can say that this load is direct. Here is a slab, here is a roof slab. Okay, the load is directly comes under this slab is laying on walls. Okay, normally in frame structure, what happens, here is a column, here is a beam, so slab, load of slab is transferred to beam and then to column. But in case of load bearing structure, the wall carry itself a load and transfer it to foundation. You can see this is the, in this image you can see this is a frame structure. uh, Horizontal member is called beam and this vertical member is called column. Okay, so you can see that here is the slab which laid on beam, and then that beam is supported on column. Okay, it means what, the load of this slab is transferred to beam to column, and then to the foundation. So this type of structure we call frame structure. Okay, it is composed of beam. You can see my cursors. Okay, cursor, it is composed of beams and columns together, with load being transferred into beam via floor and then down to foundation through the column. So this type of structure can have open internal spaces and clad in glass like curtain walling, or have a large windows. So this is a frame structure. Frame structure first was a home insurance building in Chicago in 1884-85. Just for your knowledge. So this is the difference. Let we can differ this structure. Let's see the difference. In load bearing structure, what happens? Cost is less, as we don't put more concrete in beam and column. We directly build the wall or build the walls. Frame structure, we need cost is more. Okay? We need more cost. Uh, but load bearing structure is suitable only for 3 stories. We cannot go for more stories. Uh, but in case of frame structure, it is suitable for any number of stories. Then load bearing structure having walls, having thick walls. Okay, hence floor area is reduced. But in case of frame structure, wall is thinner, so we get more area, more floor area available for use. Load bearing structure having slow construction. In case of frame structure, construction is quite speedy. Uh, we can say it is disadvantage of load bearing structure that it is not possible to alter position of walls after construction. But in case of frame structure, position of walls may be changed whenever necessary. Means if we want to expand any room, so we can remove that wall and make it large room. Okay, like we can combine 2 rooms together by just removing that position of wall. So this is possible in case of frame structure. And the last difference is resistance to earthquake is poor, as load bearing structure having dead load is so much. In case of frame structure, resistance to earthquake earthquake forces is very good. Okay, so this is the difference. Um, Hope this is our first lecture. You guys have enjoyed to watching. Thank you so much.